Welcome to 20% Time, a podcast that takes you behind the scenes of Titan, a web consultancy based out of Chicago, but entirely remote and honestly spread out all over the place. We specialize in Laravel, which hopefully if you're listening to this, you know it's a PHP framework, but we're often pairing that with any number of JavaScript frameworks, libraries, and other tools. My name is Dave Hicking. I'm the head of client services at Titan, and I've been the host of this show for the last 2 seasons. We've covered everything from Jigsaw to imposter syndrome to learning how to train your keyboard and a lot more. If you haven't listened to previous seasons, you should definitely do that right now. What I'm excited to talk about today really quickly is that for this coming season, I'm going to have a fantastic co-host joining me. She's right here. She's been keeping quiet this entire time somehow. Zuzana, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm Susanna. I'm a programmer at Titan. I've been with Titan for just over a year. And before that, I was a Laravel developer and WordPress developer. So that's me.
And you have been on the show before. You talked about a side project of yours then. But so people probably know you a bit because you've spoken at Laracon. You are, I would say you're pretty active on Twitter. Is that still your preferred place to go?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think Twitter is the place to be for developers. It's just the right place. And maybe, because I met most of my developer friends on Twitter. I got to know Matt on Twitter. I think it's just the place to be, to meet people, to get to know new things, to learn new things. Yeah.
Despite all of its flaws, despite all of the problems that sometimes happen on Twitter, it still works.
I think there are days when I go on Twitter and there's nothing, not like useful, nothing nice. But then there are days when I open it and I say, oh, I need to bookmark this, I need to bookmark that. So it's just, ebbs and flows.
And hopefully if you're listening to this, one of those days when you go on Twitter and you're like, ooh, this is interesting, is when you see an episode of this show that has just come out. So this season, Susanna and I are going to be interviewing, just like in previous seasons, even more of our fantastic coworkers. We've got a handful lined up already. We're working to get more. But we're going to do something a little different as well. So we're going to be sprinkling in some outside guests who are, I think the idea is still connected to Titan in some way. And I'll be honest, we're still kind of working through exactly what that might be, but I think it's going to be fun. We have our first outside guest already confirmed. It's Aaron Francis, who, if you are in the Laravel community, you probably know who he is. I believe he's actually speaking at Laracon, which is, as we record this, is still a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
I don't really know when this is going to come out exactly yet, but Aaron's going to join us to talk about what's new with Torchlight, which is an amazing, I guess, is that a package? This is where I should have done research before I said this out loud. I think of Torchlight as a package.
It is, yeah. I believe so, yeah.
He's going to talk about what's new with Torchlight, which is great. Our connection to it is not only do we love Torchlight and use it on the Titan blog, but there's an upcoming, hopefully he's okay with me saying this, an upcoming website redesign that we did for him. Our amazing designer, Noemi, did a redesign of Torchlight. And I believe that's either been built or is almost done being built. And maybe we'll get a chance to talk with Aaron about that and when that's coming out. So the goal is when you listen to this right now, that episode with Aaron will also be in your feed right after. So once you're done listening to us, yammer and jibber jabber and all this other stuff as we're sort of prepping you for this season, go listen to us talk to Aaron about Torchlight. You can get it everywhere you listen to podcasts, which presumably you already know since you're listening to this episode right now. But in case you're not, in case you stumbled upon this on Twitter, you can go to 20percenttime.fm or look for us in your favorite podcast app. And we'll have episodes roughly every other week for this season, which will probably be 10-ish episodes. That's still up in the air. And yeah, I'm super excited. Susanna, do you have any parting words for folks before we go?
That's a way to put me on a spot. No, but I'm excited to join you.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fun, and I can't wait to talk to all these guests we've got lined up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be educational. Yeah, can't wait.
Awesome. Thank you, Susanna. I'm so glad you're joining us, and thank you everybody. Can't wait to get these episodes out.